Here's where we left off. The panda can move around, the camera follows the player, coins disappear when we touch them, but after collecting them, nothing happens. Games constantly provide feedback to the player, and that's exactly what a score system does. By the end of this tutorial, every time we collect a coin, the score will increase automatically. This makes collecting coins much more satisfying because players can immediately see their progress. Before we start adding the score, let's talk about something important. Everything we have built so far exists inside our game world. Our panda, the trees, the rocks, the coins, all of these move together with the camera. But a score shouldn't move around the world. It should always stay fixed on the player's screen. That's why games use something called a user interface or UI. Godot had special nodes designed specifically for that. So inside of main, I would add child, canvas layer. Canvas layer isn't something player can see. Instead, it creates a separate layer that stays attached to the screen instead of the game world. Anything we place inside this node will remain fixed even when the camera moves. You will see why that's useful in just a moment. Now I would select the canvas layer, click add, and I would add a label to it. A label is one of the simplest UI nodes in Godot. Its job is simply to display text on the screen. Now you can see it is already in the top left corner. Now let's change its text property to something like score colon 0. Now if I run the game, you can see our panda is moving, the camera is moving, all the objects are moving, but the score stays in top left corner. That's the entire purpose of our canvas layer. Without it, the score would move together with the world, which is not something that we would want. The default font size is a little small, so to make it easier to read, I would click here, go to label settings, and I would increase the font size to something like 32. Now the score is much easier to read while playing. So now we have the score, but we need a way to update the score as well. So for that, our coin needs to tell our scene that I have been collected. To do that, I would have to go to our coin and I would go to the coin script. Then once the player has entered the body, I would have to emit a signal. So I would first create a signal here. Once the signal is created, I can emit the signal using emit signal and coin collected. Now we have created a custom signal called coin collected. Nothing changes it, we have only declared that this node is capable of emitting a signal and it emits a coin collected signal. Even though our signal is created, there is no one to listen it. So let's add a script to main. Let's name it main.gd and you can see an empty script is ready. We could have even connected our coins signal using UI like this, but as you can see the coin is connected. However, if I go to the other coins, they are not connected. So I would have to manually do this for every coin, which might be a bit tedious in long run. So I would just disconnect it and I would just do it through the code. So to do it in the code, we need to add the following method. Here we have a function ready, which is called when the scene is played for the first time. Inside it, we get all the children using a simple for loop, and then we check if the child has the signal coin collected. Obviously, only our coin nodes would have this signal, so all our coin nodes would be passing this if condition, other all nodes would be failing it. Then we are connecting this coin collected signal to our method on coin collected. So basically, whenever the coin emits the signal of coin collected, it would connect to our method on coin collected. I know that's too much of a theory, so let's just play it and see how it works. So to show it, I would first remove my project from full screen mode so that you could see both the game as well as the console. So I would make it windowed and I would close it and I would play the scene. So you can see our panda is standing. If I go ahead and collect a coin, you can see the coin collected appears each time we collect a coin. Now it's time to increment the score basis this, and then we would display our score as well. So first we need to maintain our score. So to do that, we will just create a variable called score and assign it as 0 on the beginning. whenever a coin is collected, we just need to do score plus equal to 1. Okay, with that we have our score counter ready, but we are still not displaying it. To display it, we need to set it in our label. So I would add at the rate on ready. So basically this is called when a scene is loaded for the first time, variable score label equal to, and then the path of the label. Then I would update the text as score label dot text equal to %d is to tell that we have an integer value that you need to append, and the score is the score variable we declared here. Now if I run the game again and if I collect a coin, you can see our score increments when the coin is collected. We obviously do not need our print statement anymore, so you can go ahead and remove it. Want it for a debug purpose, you could keep it as well. For me, I would just remove it. Right now our game is very close to complete, but there is one problem that's still present in our game, which is the panda can collect coins, the panda can move around, but the game never ends. So we need a win condition. And that's exactly what we're gonna do in our next video. So stay tuned and see you in the next one.